Alright, welcome back to Satisfactory. So last video, we talked about getting uranium in the works, so that way we could get the biggest nuclear power plant anyone's ever seen, and that is still very much so the plan. Where I'm going to set up my uranium is a good question, because they're kind of all scattered over the place. A good centralized spot would be about, like, here-ish. This would be in the middle of all of them, but you gotta also remember that I need a lot of water. Each triple overclock power plant is going to be 600 water a minute. Down here was my original plan. Well, you got all this open water to the left and this side. I can basically just make a big platform, like in this area, like a big, like several hundred block wide platform.
Fixit had several restrictions in place prohibiting creative use of drones. I have since removed those because I think no pioneer would ever misuse Fixit property right under their noses. Especially since everything is recorded.
You have no clue how true that is. So I actually have an idea for like a big train hub in mind. So maybe we should build that first, actually. Alright, it's the track over here. You might think these are cheating, given that they're powered by iron rods, but to that I say, I could make one of those hypertube launchers. I've done it before, I don't need to do it again. Right, the game's about efficiency, right? So I'm just being efficient and getting to my destination quicker. My kind of plan is to have these tracks come off of this, and then go this way. Obviously not in the water, but like, kind of go this way. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna make this look good, and like, kind of line up with that and this. And I don't want this to look bad, right? Because this is near here is probably going to be the hub. I'll probably have the hub be like right here, and then have everything be over the yonder way. I'm kind of thinking like, what if I built like through this? You know what I mean? I can have the trains kind of like come this way, and then I can go straight this way, and then curve it straight into here. So like, what if I then have this kind of like going straight this way? You see what I mean? I should probably do a ramp. I guess I could just have this one kind of coming along. We go like centered here, straight there, and then we have you connect to that. My plan is I want to do one of these straight down, and then we can do this, and then that. And for symmetricality, we'll do all the way across. Alright, let me do that. Alright, so now we have that train coming down. But I want a big train station, honestly, like right here. I'm kind of thinking about using the metal or the concrete pillars, but we've used those so many times. I kind of want to maybe use the frame ones. Like, pretty much everything at my base uses these two. I'm thinking, what if we have, like, a central train that kind of runs all the way across, and then it, like, kind of branches off, right? What if we put train stations this way, all the way across to the right? I'll slot that corner there. I don't think it's going to matter which side we go. But then we can take you, and then split you like that. Oh, you're not tiled perfectly? What did Satisfactory mean by this? Why? Actually, that gives me, like, the perfect amount of room. Alright, you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? We have our central one here, and then we have it splitting off. Alright, given that I have no clue how many stations I'm going to need, we're just going to build 10. Plus, even if we don't need them all, it'll look really cool. So, that really is what matters. Alright, lights, camera, train stations. Bro, I'm missing wire? How is that even possible? You know, that might be a sign to just stop there for now. 7 stations, each with 3, so it's 21 unloading ports. We want this side to be able to receive, because remember, it's probably going to come from this side as well. Not in a great spot, really, like, no matter what I do. You're like right there. Now this is not touching. Why sharp? Let's do it. Yay, we did it. We're gonna give whoever is driving this train whiplash, but it works. Alright, we do need path signals in here now, though, so... It took me a long time to figure out how path and block signals work. If you ever have straight lines like this, you do not need path signals. You just do blocks in the way that you're going. So, if you're here in good old America and drive on the right side of the road, the correct side, then you can see the arrow pointing that way. So that means this is now going this way. So if a train tries to come this way, it won't. It can't. So this keeps your trains from colliding into each other on these tracks. If you ever cross over a train track like this, then you need path signals. These were confusing as hell when I first learned them. The easiest way to think about them, though, path signals are your entrance points. Block signals are your exit points. That's it. That is it. I'm not kidding you. That is as simple as these things get. You don't gotta learn how these, like, work with each other. All you gotta know is path is entrance, block is exit. So as you can see here, trains on the right-hand side, this is where they're coming in. These are where my train is gonna come in. There's a path signal, right? It has two options when it gets to this point. It can go to the right or it can go to the left. Both sides have block signals because that's the exit of this little intersection. Trains can also come from this side, same deal. Path signal there. The exit is also this one, right? Because it loops around. And then there's another exit here, block signal. If you hold a path or block signal, you'll see the colors. This is like this orangish color. That means that everything in this orange is controlled by these. Basically, if a train wants to enter this area, it has to go through these path signals. And then once it leaves that color, once all the train parts are out of that color, then this area is considered clear. Which is why I have so many block signals over here. Because I have to have a block signal here for this to work. But if I have block signal here and none over here, then that means this entire area would be considered off limits, and they'd have to get to the station. That's inefficient, right? So you got a bunch of these basically being like, yeah, once they get out of here, go, right? Same deal here, right? Like, as soon as this one gets out of this red area, we want it to get out of this red area as soon as possible, so these other trains can leave. Alright, we're gonna want to come along about here. Same deal over there. There? There. That should be good. It could be something like that. And then up. It should be fine if I just extend this out. Yeah. That looks fine. Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, entrance. Entrance, entrance. Exit. Sure, there. And we're good. Okay, cool. Like, logistically, this works now. It doesn't look bad. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just leaving it like this. Outside of the trains, this looks pretty good. But, I would like to architecture this up a little bit. I have an idea of what I want in mind. Thinking, give it a 2 wide. How do I want to do this? That doesn't look good there. Now, let me restart this. Kind of see what you see what I'm cooking here, right? That doesn't work.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
Let me restart again. I would love to curve these somehow. And then if I place on that beam... Yup. Look at that. Okay, hold on. We're onto something here. Okay. I caved. I looked up a guide. I was on the right track for how to do this kind of a thing. And then we do this, and then we take this, and then we just go freeform. Or then we go diagonal, and then we just angle it slightly to the side. And then we do the same thing. And then we do that a bunch. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Oh. Alright, I officially cannot place anymore. So I believe we are done with this little curve. Alright, let's head back over here and use our newly found arch. The question is, do I want that arch there? Because I want to add some, like, glass into the middle of this. We'll go with the hex frame windows. Bam. Okay, you can kind of see, like, this is the kind of vibe I'm going for. And then if we go back to our arch, that's not bad. Alright, and then we do that, that. It's... there's a hole here. I don't have, like, a diagonal of these. I would use them if I did. But that, like, is almost really cool if you just don't see this little bit right there. Okay, well, I guess if you just, like, blink or wink and ignore this little bit, it's fine. We're gonna say it gives it personality. Well, actually, I've probably tested this out and see if it even works over the train station. So I don't actually think it's even gonna work. I guess we could try it and just see what happens. There is fine, I guess. Yeah, I was worried about that. Actually, you know, it doesn't look that bad. Because I mean, I could just, like... You know? I could just do that. Well, I guess we can make it flush and then just... Boop, click it back one. Oh my god, we have another hole? Are you kidding me? Okay, I guess that'll be the mark of a good artist, right? You know how every artist has, like, a mark? A signature, if you will? That's my mark. Because all my arches have a hole somewhere. You know, this is gonna be like oh my god, look, this one also has a hole there. There's gonna be a commonality. I don't think I can fix it. Yeah, it's gonna stick out the top. You know, I'm now realizing I'm gonna have to do... Wait, no, I can do... Can't I just, like... Yeah, I can. There. And now I just have to do this for every single one. Actually, I think it looks bad if it is every single one. Okay, what if we did like this? Yeah. Would you guys be interested in other things? I'm just, you know, talking while I'm playing. Like, cause I'm doing Satisfactory. I used to do Helldivers, but that game kind of... I wouldn't say fell off a cliff, but it's not as popular as it used to be, and that's for a good reason. Kind of sucked that, like, right as the Super Earth event ended is when I got, like, back into recording everything. I just completely forgot to record. It didn't even cross my mind to record the Super Earth event. But that's honestly not bad for a first go-through. I actually really like this. I don't know, the frames keep it, like, open. I don't know, it's different than, like, if I were to do it, like, at a metal or the concrete option, right? It looks so much more open. I like that. It's a little, you know, holy, but just, we ignore that, right? If anybody asks, somebody joins late, that wasn't there. Okay, I like this. So, I'm gonna... see if I can't time-lapse it. If I can, then you will see a time-lapse. If I can't, then you won't. So, but I'm gonna do this pattern, this, like, general thing, with this all the way across. And then I'm gonna grab this, do the same thing here with the frames this way, except I'm gonna go literally, like, honestly, to the end of here. Anything of note I will mention, but it's going to be a lot of this. It's going to be that, but 6 more times.
Well, let me have a rule and a saw and a board and I'll cut it. I'll climb up a ladder with a hammer and a nail and I'll nail it. Well, we worked so hard to build a little house together. In the snow or the rain or the ice cold wind, whenever. No matter what the weather, we're together. worked so hard to build a little house together. In the snow, in the rain, or the ice cold wind, whenever, no matter any weather, we're together.
With the train station done, I'd say pretty confidently this is done. Next up is getting everything here for the uranium project, but to do that we gotta get power over there. There it is, look at that. I do have to get this to a train station though. Oh, look, there's one right here. How helpful is that? What if I did it right here? And then I had to come this way and then go back over that way. Genius. Let's go world grid here. Should only need the one, but let me leave some extra room in case I need more. Okay, now I need this to be going over there. Can I just connect these straight up? No, why would I? That's too easy. Alright, this doesn't have to be pretty. I'm not going to be here. Come on. But yeah, it's going to be glorious, isn't it? Oh, cool. That works great. Now, the fun part. This is steep. Ugh, this is a problem. What do you mean that's too steep? Okay, that is too steep. No, you're right. Wait, no, hold on. You need to go there. God dang it. What I might have to do, I might have to, like, snake it around. Yeah, you kind of see what I'm going for here. Yep. Alright, there we go. It looks great. It looks like my Hot Wheels car, but it works. Alright, you're on load. Alright, now we just need to actually get the nuclear. Triple overclock. Shoot. 600. And straight in. Beauty. Electric locomotive. All of them always have 3. 1, 2. Yep, that's over there. That's what I wanted. You're going to Balakovo. I haven't named them, so. Okay, nuclear loading. Alright, the train is off. So now, just imagine that 4 more times. Hey, Future Wrench here, popping in to say that this whole section was extremely boring. Every single material, which was quick wire, copper for copper sheets and wire, steel for steel pipes and steel beams, sulfuric acid, and concrete, all of which were the exact same thing, which was going from the miner to pure version of that, so putting it into a refinery by adding that material and water, and then putting it into a constructor to make it into that thing. All of them were that exact thing, so instead of me showing you each individual one, I really like the montage I did with the house building theme song, so we're gonna do that again with a different song. So please enjoy. Hi, it's Future Wrench again. So, funny thing, with the Satisfactory 1.1 update that came out recently, it borked a lot of my mods. And the thing with modding Satisfactory is, well, if you have a modded machine and that mod doesn't work, it deletes the machine from the world. And I'm sure you saw how many Mark II machines that I used. In fact, most of my machines are modded. So, I have to wait until that Mark Plus mod, as well as a lot of other mods, get updated to 1.1 because, well, I can't play Satisfactory otherwise. I was going to do a really cool wide shot and show you everything that I built over that little compilation, but I guess that's just not happening. So I'll hopefully show you the next video when I actually can play Satisfactory. But other than that, I just want to say thank you for sticking around. I really hope you enjoyed those montages. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if I can improve. Always happy to get constructive criticism. But, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the future. Au revoir.